Welcome back to the Purple Empire Summons. This episode right here is about to hit different. We're talking real talent, real bars, and a level of grind that's undeniable. Today we've got none other than the man himself. The artist who's been making waves with about 30 singles, one fire album, and he even blessed one of my singles. How you doing today, Michael Mike?
What's up, man? I'm doing pretty great. Honored, flattered by your commentary. Means a lot.
Oh, that's very nice. Where are you from?
Houston, Texas.
Well, that's awesome. Is it getting hot down there? You know, spring, summer is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's like pre-warming up. It's not too hot yet. People who aren't from Texas aren't used to it at all, so they're complaining already, but I'm used to it.
Yeah. So tell me, who are you as an artist?
As an artist, I'm myself, but like the truest version of myself, the most honest version of myself, if that makes sense. Like, there's no filter.
That authenticity.
Yeah, to the extreme.
I hear you. What type of genre of music you make, and why did you choose to make that type of genre of music?
I choose to make hip hop, and I guess it's more of like one of those maybe hip hop chose me, but I'm a fan of all type of genre of music. Choir kid, just musically talented, I guess, as a kid as well. But I just chose hip hop because remember I tell this story all the time when I was working at Dairy Queen. I was in the back one time. I had my headphones on and I was just running through some YouTube beats way back, and I just started freestyling. And I was like, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this." And then it just took off from there.
Oh, that's awesome. Being able to find your talent in, the most strange places ever, and not even strange, being able to find your talent is always good to, have.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Who are your biggest musical influences and why?
That's it's pretty easy to say. The Weekend, and you could say XXX Tentacion. He definitely played a huge part of it. 'Cause I can relate to a lot to what he went through. I'm sure a lot of people can as well. So that's why for him, and especially with the music that I make, a lot of people they compare me sometimes, not exactly sounding like him, but having elements of his work in my own work. And as for The Weeknd, that's an artist that's been there since like 10 years already listening to. He's always been there, and I just can relate to a lot of his lyrics as well. And I love the way he expresses his art, like from music videos to marketing to just the way he promotes stuff. Like, that's how I aspire to be that great, more than just an artist, just really, truly a creator.
Yeah, The Weeknd is a phenomenal artist, and
Dude, yeah.
that's is enough to say about that.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in a few years as an artist?
As an artist, I see myself in a few years, hopefully, with a lot more of what I have now. And by what I mean by that is just everything. I mean, talking about streams, I'm talking about shows, I'm talking about like merchandise. Like right now I'm rocking one of my other favorite artists right now, local artist, one of his merch. So that's how I'm trying to be. I'm trying to have my shirts out too. I have the design, but I mean I need the funding. So you know what I'm saying? I need the funding for that, but
Yeah,
hopefully with my merch, hats, stickers to the extreme, even on a freaking on a billboard, like driving down in my city and seeing myself on a billboard. That's how I see myself. Uh, just like everything just times 10.
that Beverly Hills type fame.
Yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. I definitely strive for the best.
Speaking of features, because I actually want to go into that. So feature on a lot of songs.
Hmm.
Tell me about that. It's like, do you have like a certain type of where you pick features, or do you kind of just go with everything? Like, how is that process?
Fíjate, it's definitely like chemistry. We gotta have chemistry. I gotta like with what we got. Sometimes they're planned. Like I'll meet up with somebody from a show, another local artist, and they really enjoy my music. I enjoy theirs, and we plan it out. And sometimes it's not planned. We just reach out. I happen to hear someone's work, or they happen to hear mine, and like, okay. And I'm pretty versatile myself, so I can pretty much adapt to any kind of genre. I mean, it's still hip hop at the end of the day, to its core, so that's not too hard for me to do. I definitely like to take my time though. Like I told you when I did yours, I take my time because I'm not just giving you just lyrics or throwaways. That's not fun. I really like doing music at the end of the day. So That's why I take my time and I really take it seriously. And like with yours, it was such a like unique thing because we had planned it. I remember before talks to it in December, and it's not like we knew each other that good, but we heard each other's music, and I was like, that's good enough with me. I'm not gonna lie to you
Right.
though, this is a business though sometimes, and like there are some features that I do not want to do, and I'm a little lazy. Like I'll keep some presets already loaded on my computer, and I'll just use that. It's like a general setting, but I'll just use it. It works for all kind of instruments and stuff. There's some features, yeah, they're a little tough to do, but that's how I get some money. And hey, you got to do what you got to do, bro.
I know that's right. And I always tell people this because people get a little offended when people are like, "Well, I'm not in it for the money," when there's an artist that is kind of in it for the money. But like we talked about on the last podcast, which you can click the eye up here, we talked about like this is a living. Like I always say, business can be up for a day, and then business can also be down for a day.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have one album. How long did it take you to write that album?
That album to write it, probably about 2 months to like compose it, mix it, put it all together. Do I like it? No. Is this the final version? No. Probably a whole process of like 6 to 8 months. Cause I just
Right.
wanted to make sure it was like the best that I could give, at least with what I have, I don't have these top producers or top studios. So I'm just trying to give the best with what I have, and I feel like I accomplished that.
Yeah, you're trying to make use of what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I gotta ask, because I don't know if it's just me, but I call it creator bias. Do you ever feel like you'll listen to something and each time you record it, you're like, this is not what I planned in my head?
Yeah, I'll make something and I'm just like, nope, not how I was supposed to get executed, or that could have been better, that could have been louder. Just yeah, you're right. It's not just
Right.
you.
Right. I actually want to touch on that a little bit because I like to have, a few topics in my thing just to help other artists and producers and all people in the music industry. How do you cope? Because I know for me that when I listen to some of my music, like I won't listen to it for like a week and then listen to it just so I can get that kind of like clear, sound. Like, is there anything that you do, or do you kind of just say, "Let me just throw my music and just hope for the best"?
Best. I wouldn't say that. Cause I know I base a lot of my stuff like natural. It's like natural in a way, It doesn't feel forced at all. Like, and it just kind of like just feeds into my head. Like the thoughts, they just pour out. So it's just like a natural process for me. Unless I'm really like focused on a specific sound or something I'm really chasing, then that's when I start to stress or get writer's block and gotta take a break from it and come back.
Right, you gotta take a little chill pill.
You have to, or you'll lose your mind.
Yeah, for sure. So going back to the album though, what song on the album is the most personal to you?
It's either 1 or 9. It's either the first one or the
Mm.
last one. It's either Hello Hello Dear or the Sum of You. The Sum of You was the first one that was written, but I think I would say Hello Hello Dear because of that was the first one released. It was the lead single, and making that one too. I remember I spent 2 full days locked in my room when I made that. Yeah, so I think it would be more that one, but they're about the same. Do you mind if I get the door real quick?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're
Quick
good.
pause. I'm
It's
giving you
okay.
a water break.
We're going into commercial break, guys.
The Razón by MPO featuring Mike on Mike is now out on all platforms.
Jesus, praise and worship Jesus. What type of environment do you need to be in when you're writing music? Because I just heard that you write in your room, but is there like a environment where you're like, oh yeah, like this is my spot?
I guess anywhere where I can just really focus. Because if there's a lot of loud noise, or I'm picking up the TV, or sometimes my niece and nephew are over, and that's why sometimes I don't mind going to a studio. I used to do that at first. It's a lot cheaper if you learn how to do it yourself and do it at home. That's the benefit. But at the same time, the cons are like other sounds you don't plan on. What if the neighbor's mowing the lawn?
Right.
And then like going to a studio now, I definitely don't mind it. I'm more comfortable in it. But again, it's just better at home. So as long as it's somewhere that I can really focus on, be in my zone, then I should be straight.
Now, your album name is kind of Yikes. Not yikes as in it's bad, but it's like yikes as in like,
I was like, oh man, it's horrible.
yeah, like, what made you choose the name of that? Like, oh my goodness.
I really like the way that comes off the tongue, the silver in my depression, because even though it is a very sad and melancholic project, uh, you know, a lot of artists know this, that some of their best work comes from their darkest times. So I call that, you know, the light in the darkness, the silver inside of my depression. That's why it felt like the appropriate name for it.
It's a great name. Like, when I listen to the album, because
Oh,
I
thank you.
listen to everybody, of course. When I interview everybody, I always like to listen to their music, try to get a sense of like their personality and what to expect from them. Because I'm a psych major in college. I was like, oh my
Mm,
goodness, like I could have cried.
man, I guess mission accomplished.
So, for the real part of this podcast, because we made a song together,
Yes.
we made a great song together. So, what was it like working on the song The Razón?
The song that we're on.
Yes.
Man, that song was a banger. It was a little bit of a challenge, especially with the rules you apply. I usually have a lot of creative freedom every time I make a feature, and this time I didn't, which I don't mind at all either. You know, I
Right.
respect everyone's beliefs, and I'm open to this kind of stuff. And I am a religious myself, so this shouldn't be too hard. That's what I mean by versatile. You know, I can do a trap type beat. I can do a little, maybe some more melody songs, or you know, some
Mhm.
Christian rap in this case. That's what I would consider. I don't know if you do, but
Yes.
yeah. So I was like, okay, you gave me the rules, you gave me the timestamp, and let's go from there. And then the Spanish too. I was like, again, I didn't want to force it. I was like, just because I'm gonna rap in Spanish doesn't mean the whole verse should be in Spanish. So it has to be natural. And then, you know, once I started on it, it just kept coming. I thought I was
It
gonna
just
take a
clicked.
lot longer, but no, it was a perfect blend of just what I wanted and like the right timing.
That was that Jesus in you.
Seriously,
I said that was that Jesus, that Jesus in you.
oh yeah. The Holy Spirit definitely helped.
No, but and also let me just say, I actually do want to apologize for like limiting your like creative abilities because
Oh,
as
no,
an
you're
artist,
good. You're
like
good.
that's what we do. Right.
You just
But I
made
just
it.
want to
You
say
just
that for
made
the
it
record.
better. You sharpened me. If anything, sharpened the blade.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I guess for like me and like I'm sure like a lot of artists out there, it's like when I make a song, like I guess I'm like, I know what I want, I know what I expect, and I know what I'm looking for, and I kind of like, you know,
Oh yeah,
I'm
I could tell. I could tell with your delivery, and then when I heard the ad libs too, I was like, oh, he knew. Like he heard that in his head, and he knew that's what he wanted to bring on the track.
and it was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to
And
start
and
singing it, but
you did a great job,
we,
and
we
I
can't we can't
appreciate you.
show him yet.
How would you describe our collaboration?
I'll describe it. Let's see. Enlightening.
Mm,
I think that's a good word for it. Enlightening. Because
yeah, it
it
was
was
kind of like
enlightening. It was a small journey, and it was just like a nice subtle reminder to, like, you know, a nice subtle reminder to get with my own religion, my beliefs, and just express it out. And again, challenge myself. I guess so. Get enlightened with music. I mean, at the end of the day, music is what moves me. So this is just good.
that's right.
Good exercise, good practice, and it's gonna do good numbers. It has to.
Right, it
It
just has to
has
hit the
to.
charts.
I'll keep pushing it in people's faces if it doesn't. I'm gonna just like, here, listen to this.
There you go.
Yeah.
I always think about this because you know, as when people listen to music, like they really feel the music,
Hmm.
whatever song they're feeling to. But just imagine how much more the artist is feeling the music. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like our styles blended well? And what would you improve and what would you do differently about it? And you can be honest. I don't get offended.
Do our styles blend together? Yeah, they work because of, I think, because of the simple reason that you know, again, this is hip hop. This is rap. So, and that's what you did. You rapped and I rapped. I feel like what we could have improved on, maybe the only thing was, I think what you could have done differently was maybe add a little more vocabulary. So I mean, like add in a couple
Mm,
more lines or whatever, just to fit to not to, because you weren't off beat, but to add more, I guess, more space to fill in the gaps. And what I could have
mhm,
done differently is definitely my delivery. I feel like I could have gave still a little better. I see. I don't know if I'm
mhm.
just hating on myself, like It's never perfect or whatever, but I felt like I could give a little more delivery.
I think it may be that creator bias because you did good.
Yeah, we're back to that again.
Right. I'm actually glad that you mentioned that, especially for me, because I've been trying to make my songs a little bit more busier,
Hmm.
filling in those gaps, like you said. So that's a good tip for those new artists out there.
Yeah,
Beginning to close out, I just want to say you released Telluride. Tell us about that.
man. Yeah, dude, I love that track, and a lot of people like it too. It's man, I named it after the Kia Telluride. That's the van. I guess you could call it a van, SRV, whatever that you want to call it. I call it a tank personally, because to me
Right.
it reminds me of a Batmobile. That's what it reminds me of. Dark and gray. It's heavy. It's like a tank. Anyways, so that's my drummer's vehicle, and we use it to load our equipment for shows because it
Mm.
fits in there. It fits my guitar amp, it fits my speaker, it fits my mic, it fits his whole drum kit. And the Telluride is what keeps us moving, and it's actually pretty. You can consider it a luxury vehicle slash. It's like I think he tells me it's the same price as a Hellcat, at least
Mm.
certain models. So, and a lot of artists they like to flex their Rover, their Benz, their Mercedes. I'm like, well, we're gonna flex the Telluride, you know?
I know that's right.
When we start in that, like, there's no shame in what we come with. We flex in that. So, and that was the perfect name to give. Like, that's what the song, the beat, it reminded me. I was struggling so hard coming up with a name. And then I was like, yo, right here. I was rapping that lyric and it just came out. Telluride, we don't riot in the rave. I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. That's the name. And just the rest, it just works out.
I feel like a lot of artists feel like they can't rap about stuff if they don't like have the glam and all the big
Mhm.
things and all this stuff. And it's like, guys, like it's art.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm calling every single celebrity out who says this. Whoever says and whoever made the rule that you can't rap about something that you don't have is the most stupidest and strangest thing ever in the world. I will
Yeah.
never understand that.
No, for sure. Like you said, it's art.
It's art. Like,
Yeah, and there's so many ways you can play with this stuff, like storytelling too. So you can storytell. You could just there's a lot of metaphors, hyperboles. I use a lot of
right.
that.
Yeah,
It's
like
art.
it's art. It's art.
Yeah.
Is there any other projects you're working on currently that you're allowed to tell us?
Yes. I had a plan in mind this year. I'm not one to really crank out a lot of music, and people know that because I feel like each like my discography, each song deserves its own time to shine or its own promotion. They all equally deserve to get some
Right.
value. And
Right.
so I don't really focus more on releases. I focus more on promoting the actual music.
Right.
However, people do like new music. So I made a plan this year to release 3 new songs, and
Oh.
one in March, which was Telluride, one
Mhm.
in May. But basically, Telluride was towards the end of March, so that's why I spent all of May and April. I mean, March and April promoting it. But new song on Mother's Day, and then yeah, and then the next song after that, I'm letting my friend pick. She's not a feature, but she did a little. I guess when it's out, you'll hear whatever you want to call it. And it's a summer song though. And then
Okay.
the second half of the year will just be more promoting. Maybe I'll throw in another song in there if I feel it might, maybe not. I'm always throwing like remixes or unreleased stuff on YouTube just for fun because it's art, like you say.
Yeah, it's you're trying to have fun.
Hmm.
Now, this summer song with this special person.
Yeah.
um, you gonna spill your business, or are you gonna keep it quiet?
I mean, it's definitely it's a song that I had a lot of fun with. Girls on what do girls be saying? Hot girl summer, real hot girl shit. Well, I mean, it's definitely for the single folk. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Definitely for the single folk, and I guess my POV. Some people, I hope they enjoy it
Right.
because I had a lot of fun making it. That one's a straight, just fun bop.
Right.
Yeah,
And wrapping up, how has the Purple Empire treated you, and why did you decide to join us today?
horribly. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. You guys treated me like way beyond expectations, man. I've seen other people that low key, they try to take it serious or they come off as taking it serious and they don't. And they just end up wasting my time. The only thing, is that we've had delays, but even with the delays, you've kept communication. You made it clear that we were gonna reschedule. We worked with around your schedule and we worked mine. I've been treated nothing but kind with the Purple Empire, so definitely 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10.
I appreciate that because, honestly, like, I'm not going to hide my personality. Of course, there's some professionalism that goes into this type of work, but I'm going to be my authentic self. People know that I'm in college. People know that I'm doing these things, got all this stuff going on. So I appreciate you for working with me and just being so supportive.
No, man, definitely, you deserve it, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Is there any final words or remarks that you have before we close off today? And what you drinking?
I'm drinking the Ashton Hall Saratoga water.
Well, that looks expensive.
They put me on. No, I saw it at the CVS where I live by, and I was like, I gotta try this. Let me see what this guy is all about. And it's pretty good. But I'm definitely not good? I'm not the type that I'm only gonna drink that and that's it. It's just for the fun, just for clout right now.
Just for the fun. It looks expensive. It looks like it costs more than Fiji water.
I think it's about the same price. It was $4.
Lord.
I know, right? Goodness. Hey, but like, I guess that's how we can close out the podcast. You gotta treat yourself like water. Yes. Water at the flea market is $1. If you go to church, maybe $2. If you go to the CVS, $4. On an airplane, $6. Its value increases wherever it goes. So you got to be like water. Don't treat your value just because it's like here or there. You're just at the wrong place. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Now that's a song lyric.
Hell yeah.
All right.
You're right.
Anyway, we just want to thank Mike on Mike so much for all that he's done, and I hope you have a blessed day.
Up to you guys. Thanks, man.